All right, everybody. How are we doing today? I got my coffee. Got a pretty straightforward tutorial today on Git version control. If you're not familiar with Git is a very popular version control tool that is used by developers and programmers to collaborate code into one place. Now, we've gone through kind of version control as this whole system, but Git is actually the commands that are used that will then contribute the code to the GitHub or to the Bitbucket or whatever repository you are using. So why don't we just kind of take a quick look at Git as a version control language. And the thing about Git is that it is open source, so it's free to everybody, and it's also used by a lot of businesses and corporations, enterprises, because it does have the features that are needed, and it's been greatly included in a lot of different projects that have been big, and so now it's kind of the leader. So just going real quick, I mean, Git is basically going to be used through your terminal. So I'm not going to go too far into this because there's a lot of commands, but basically if we were to command into our folder, which I don't even know if I can really, why don't we just not set all that up right now. But basically what you're going to find is that through Git, there's a few small commands like git config, which is going to then configure the repository online with your local folder. There's git status, which is going to say that, look, all these files, this is in our view project, have not been added to the Git repository because we haven't even set up a Git repository. Or there is something like git status, which is going to tell us different information about the project. So there's a lot of different commands. What I'm going to do is point you over here to the Git reference, and these are all the different. So for setup and configuration, you have git, config, help. I just went through a few of those actually. Creating the projects, branching, which is where the multiple developers are able to kind of work on their own areas, and then the sharing and the uploading. So there's definitely several commands, but look, I mean, there's really not that many, maybe 50 commands altogether. And what you'll find is that you're really going to continue to use about maybe a dozen of these regularly. So what is the advantage of Git is that, again, multiple programmers are able to work on one project together and push their source code and their different parts of the project. So one person might be working on this page, one person might be working on this page, one person might be working on this feature like a contact form. And then in the end, everybody's able to upload their own parts that they built and collaborate it into one project. And Git is basically the language or the commands that are used to then get that files or that code up to the project where it's all collaborated. So that's kind of a real rough idea of Git, and I don't want to go too much more into it because it can get kind of deep and there's a lot of things that might be confusing, but really you just got to take it as it's the commands that get you up your files up to the Git repository where everybody is working on the project together. So if you guys have any questions about Git, any of the commands, anything with setting it up, feel free, leave a comment, reach out to us. We'd love to help. It's never a problem. Also, if you could, give a like, give a subscribe, that stuff helps. Otherwise, we will catch you in the next tutorial where we'll be going over the Git repositories, GitHub, and Bitbucket. So we'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Peace.